The question document section of the crime lab examines document evidence as well as evidence bearing shoe and tire tread impressions. In 1910, Albert S. Osborne published his book Question Documents and has been credited with laying the foundation of forensic document examination. A question document is considered any item that bears handwriting or other markings whose authenticity or source is unknown. The first images that come to mind when you hear the word document are probably handwritten notes or sheets of paper with printed information. These are common types of evidence. However, documents come in many other forms, including compact disc labels, bathroom stall doors, and walls. Of course, not all of these types of evidence are able to be sent to the lab, so good quality photographs are commonly submitted in lieu of the original evidence. The examiner's job is to make observations about these items which are not readily apparent to the layperson. Common practices used to authenticate documents include a visual examination, microscopy, and photography. There are several questions that can be answered through a thorough document examination. Who prepared the handwriting? Is this document a forgery? Did this typewriter or photocopier produce this document? Can you reveal the obliterated writing? Are there any indented writing impressions present that may link this document to others? These are just some of the many questions that experts in this field are faced with on a daily basis. The identification of handwriting is based on the understanding that handwriting within a language has similar characteristics so that it can be read, but each person is unique and therefore imparts their own habits in their writing, distinguishing their writing from all others. There are also natural variations within the handwriting of individuals which must be carefully studied in order to distinguish a variation from a difference. The examiner compares the handwriting characteristics found on a question document with those found in known standards of writing from the victim or the suspect. Slant, height relationships, formation of letters, punctuation, and formatting are just some of the many features thoroughly scrutinized during an examination. The gender, race, or handedness of the writer is not able to be determined from the examination of these characteristics. Indented writing may be left on the underlying pages when the top sheet of paper is written upon. The quality of these writing impressions is influenced by pen pressure and paper thickness. These impressions are very useful as a form of linking evidence, such as tracing a robbery note to a writing pad recovered from a suspect's residence. Historically, indented writing was identified and deciphered by means of low-angle lighting, also called oblique lighting, in combination with photography. More recently, an instrument known as the electrostatic detection apparatus, or ESDA, is now used to produce a positive image of the indented writing. This procedure is considered non-destructive, therefore making it possible to later process the documents for latent prints or DNA. It is important in some cases to be able to identify information on a document that has been added, removed, or obscured. If an alteration or obliteration is identified, it is the examiner's goal to visualize and decipher the original text. Instruments such as the Video Spectral Comparator, or VSC, assist in this study. The VSC allows the examiner to examine the document through infrared illumination using an infrared-sensitive camera in combination with photographic filters. The image is examined by viewing on a monitor and digital image processing through a computer. This is very useful in ink analysis. In addition to analyzing document evidence, the question document section also compares question impressions with known shoe and tire treads. In order to commit a crime, the criminal must enter the scene and exit the scene. Therefore, it is reasonable to assume that they must have walked or driven there. Criminals go to great lengths to prevent leaving any fingerprints, but they often forget about the other impressions they leave behind, particularly ones left by the shoes on their feet or the tires on their car. These types of impressions can aid the investigator in linking a criminal to a crime. Footwear impression evidence is commonly present at crime scenes and often recovered and submitted to the lab for comparison. Examination of footwear impressions at the scene can reveal useful information about the crime. Common places to find shoe prints are at points of entry and exit. For example, several shoe prints detected outside an unlocked window would indicate that the window was used to gain access to the house. From the time a person enters the scene until they leave, they are constantly leaving impressions. Their path through the scene can be followed and deductions made based on those impressions. After making observations regarding what happened at the scene, it is necessary to photograph and recover the questioned impressions. Often the situation is such that the impression is present on a surface that is not able to be recovered. If this is the case, the impression must be preserved in a manner that is similar to lifting a fingerprint. Three-dimensional impressions, such as those left by a tire in soft soil, can be cast and result in a positive impression. Dental stone is a common product used for casting because of its ability to conform to the small crevices in the impression and its durability once cured. Once the questioned impressions or prints are recovered and submitted to the lab, the examiners can do one of two things. They can determine the make, model, and possible size of the shoe or tire that made the questioned impression, or they can compare the questioned print to a known shoe or tire. Shoes are manufactured in several ways with thousands of different outsole designs and in numerous different sizes. As shoes wear, the outsole design steadily changes due to the constant friction with the ground. They acquire unique characteristics such as cuts, nicks, and scratches, which are random in nature. The wearer of the shoe also imparts his or her own wear patterns on the shoe. It is these features that individualize one shoe from another. These same principles apply to the examination of tire tread impressions. Shoes and tires and the impressions they leave at the crime scene offer sound, reliable, and demonstrative evidence of a person's presence. The imaging section of the crime laboratory provides specialized services for the Division of Forensic Sciences as well as the entire GBI organization. In addition to photographing, enhancing, and printing physical evidence, the imaging section is also responsible for enhancing video and digital media submitted by law enforcement agencies which have recorded individuals in the commission of criminal activities.